Recall the two adjustments that I want you to make to problems to make them look easier. 6 plus negative 4. In the center of this problem, I have both a plus and a minus sign. I can rewrite this problem as 6 minus 4. Now the problem looks elementary easy. 6 minus 4 is 2. Okay, whenever you have a plus and a minus in the middle of your problem, you're free to rewrite your problem in this way, just the minus sign. Here's the double negative scenario. When you have a double negative in the center of your problem, you must rewrite it as plus. Just like in English class, I am never not hungry. It's far better grammar to instead say I am always hungry. Okay, and again, this problem now looks elementary simple, and the answer is 10. So for the past 2 worksheets, I've been kind of forcing you guys to answer problems using visuals like the number line or color-coded dots. Now, some of you, those visuals are really helping you get the answers correct. But others of you probably think, Mrs. Bell, I'm able to do this in my head. Why do I need a visual? Today, I'm going to have you solve problems without visuals. I'm more wanting you to do these types of problems in your head. So I'm going to share with you what goes on in my head to ensure that I get all these answers correct. Going back to the colored dots, maybe positive dots are green and negative dots are red. A positive and a negative cancel each other out. So whenever you have a problem that involves a positive number and a negative number, remember, they're going to cancel each other out. Okay. Here's some rules that I always follow. Okay, we're going to do multiplication and division a little bit later in the week. For addition and subtraction, if you have a problem with opposite signs, you subtract them to get your answer. If you have a problem with same signs, for example, both the numbers are positive or both the numbers are negative, you add the two numbers together to get the answer. Opposites subtract, same signs add. Okay, so looking at my first problem. My first number is negative, where my second number is positive, so I have opposites. One's positive, one's negative, and opposite signs I need to subtract. Okay, so I'm just going to subtract, ignoring all the signs. 4 minus 3, which is equal to 1. And then you always keep the sign of the larger number. 4 is larger than 3, and 4 is negative. So my answer is going to be a negative 1. Okay, you always keep the sign of the larger number. All right, number 2, negative 1 plus 3. Is this an opposite signs problem or a same signs problem? Well, the 1 is negative, but the 3 is positive, so this is an opposite signs problem. Remember, opposites subtract. So I'm going to subtract the larger number minus the smaller one, 3 minus 1, and I get 2. Then I always keep the sign of the larger number. 3 is bigger than 1, and 3 is positive. So my final answer is a positive 2. Okay, looking at a third example here. -2 plus -1. Now I see a plus minus in the middle here. I am free to rewrite this problem as -2 minus 1. Okay, remember whenever you have a plus minus at the front of your problem, you can just replace that with a minus sign. Anyways, is this a same signs problem or an opposite signs problem? Well, the 2 has a negative in front of it. The 1 has a negative in front of it. Both these numbers are negative. Since they're both negative, it's a same signs problem. Same signs add. Okay, going back to this visual, same signs add. So I'm just going to take 2 plus 1. Who cares what these signs are? Just take the numbers, 2 plus 1, and you get 3. Now I need to keep the sign of the larger number. 2 is larger than 1, and 2 is negative. So my final answer would be a -3, because I kept the sign of the larger number. Okay, last example here. I have a 1 minus a -4. Now before I ask myself, is this a same signs problem or opposite signs problem, I have to rewrite this. Notice I have a double negative in the center of my problem. Always rewrite double negative problems with a plus sign. This is the problem I'm working with. Now, is this a same signs problem or opposite signs? Well, the 1 is positive, the 4 is positive, so this is same signs. Remember, same signs add. So I just take 1 plus 4, get 5, and then I need to keep the sign of the larger number. Now 4 is bigger than 1, and 4 is positive. So my final answer is a +5. I did not need the number line or color-coded dots to get this correct. But to ensure that I am getting the answers correct, I always ask myself 2 questions. Number 1, is this a same signs problem or opposite signs problem? That tells me whether to add or subtract. Then number 2, I need to keep the sign of the larger number. Here 4 is bigger than 3 and 4 is negative, so my final answer is negative. 3 is greater than 1 and 3 is positive, so my final answer is positive. Down here, 2 is greater than 1 and 2 is negative, so my final answer is negative. And lastly, 4 is greater than 1 and 4 is positive, so my final answer is positive. Okay? Opposites subtract, same signs add, keep the sign of the larger number.